Hello, you wonderful lot. Welcome to day 4 of the Business Boost Challenge. Can you believe it? Day 4 already. It's flown by. If you haven't done days 1 and 2, then don't panic. You can pause this video now, head back to days 1 and 2. Yesterday, day 3, was a live networking event where we worked through how to write your elevator pitch and how to build a network. So don't worry if you missed that. You can still go through the workbook. There wasn't a video recording because it was a live event, but the workbook will help you. And if you are a member of the Milspo network community group, the Facebook group, the PDF for virtual networking is also in there, and that'll help you write your elevator pitch. First off, apologies, I've got a cold, so I sound like this. But we're going to embrace it. It's a really quick day. It's a really good fun day today, so you won't have to listen to me too long sounding like this, but I will do my best to get through it. And we're going to have a fun day, so you should, by now, by day 4, you'll have your workbook, excuse me, ready. You'll have filled it out. You can use a digital one, the real life one. We are on page 16 today, and this is a fun day. Work with me here. This is one of those ones that might open your mind. Might seem a little bit weird. If you haven't tried it, especially, it's going to seem a little bit weird. But we're going to go for it, because you never know what wonderful things work. So, today is all about building a dream board and starting a business journal. So both of these things you might try and not like. You might be like me, you might try it and love it and can't live without it. Doesn't matter. Like all things in business, always best to just give stuff a go and maybe it'll work for you. So we're going to start off with building a dream board. Now, you could call it a vision board, you could call it a manifesting board, it can be anything. You've probably heard of it before, you may have even made one before. We do them every year in the group, and I love it, and I do it every January, so yeah, you've probably heard of different versions. It's quite literally just a visual representation of your hopes and dreams. That's it. It could be your hopes and dreams for the next year, it could be 10 years, 20 years down the line. It could be just anything that you want to achieve, and it can be focused on business, but I think the most successful ones focus on a little bit of business, a little bit of personal stuff, because the concept behind work-life balance, I don't really think that's a thing. I think you work and you live, and actually it's just you doing both, so I think you can amalgamate them all into the same thing. And I know, especially when you run your own business, you really have to be hot on the old personal achievements and the health and well-being, especially because, I mean, you don't want to sound like me, but also business relies on you. And if you're not in top form and if you're not feeling particularly well that day, balls can get dropped. So why not intertwine your personal goals with your business goals? And it is, like I said, quite simply a visual representation of what you want to achieve, your hopes and dreams. It can be digital, it can be real life printed out, it could be a combination of both. I believe in printing out and sticking it up. My goal board is just here next to my life goals, which you can probably read. I mean, that's a bit of a giveaway, it's not very exciting. I mean, obviously it's really exciting, but it's nothing that's too secretive. But yes, I have a list of my life goals and my vision board. I also have a few quotes here to keep going and pictures of my lovely friends. Anyway, you don't need to see that, we're focusing on the vision board. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk you through mine, how I've done it, and hopefully encourage you to do the same. So by now you should have your 5 bigger picture goals that we decide on day 1. Keep those in mind when you're doing this, and quite literally, it's time to head to Google or grab some magazines or generally wherever you think is best to find visual representations of those 5 bigger picture goals or anything that you want to achieve this year. Excuse me. Oh, I hope this lasts. Right. And then on the page after, page 17, here's some lovely inspirational quotes that you can add to your board that will make you remember how epic your 2023 is going to be, and the fact that you can do it and you can believe in yourself, because we've slayed those dragons. Remember slaying the dragons? Oh, see how it's all linking together? It's perfect. So this is my desk. This is where I spend the time that I'm at work, and so I have inspirational things all around me to keep me going, because inevitably in business life we're going to end up on a drizzly, probably Thursday afternoon in January, going, oh no, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? I can't stand this. I can't do this. And the reason you have your lovely vision board with all these wonderful things that you're going to achieve right next to you is so that you go, actually, that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm spending this drizzly Thursday afternoon working on my business and trying to achieve things, because it's all about these things. It can be for manifesting. It can be for law of attraction helps with this. Now they're huge, massive. Like, people have written huge books about manifesting and goal setting and law of attraction and all of those things, and we would still be here tomorrow if I started to explain it. I love a bit of manifesting. I do. I use it in a different way. I use it to, like my dream board, to remind me to keep going. You can go really hardcore. You can use the law of attraction, and you can use it kind of in a more spiritual way. It's all about energies, attracting negative energies and attracting positive energies. There's an awful lot of scientific and non-scientific stuff written about it. It's like a whole subject in itself. So if law of attraction and manifesting something that you're interested in, I go and do your own reading about that. I love it, but I can't explain it well enough. Basically, there's a great book. Who's it by? Oh, I'll put it in the video. I've got it. I think it's it's a brilliant book. I've got it somewhere, and I will find it before the end of this. But let's not distract from this. I can't see it. Some are really close, and I will show it to you. But let's focus on vision boards or dream boards or goal boards or whatever it is. So here's mine, quite literally hot off the press. It's not pretty. For a designer, it's really not pretty. Mine is all... Look, I've quite literally cut out stuff and pinned it to a pinboard. It's a nice pinboard, I'm not going to lie. But here it is. This is my hopes and dreams for the next few years. Some of them I've had on this board for a few years. Some of them I've achieved, and I save those and stick them into my journal, which we're talking about next. But I just want to talk you through what I do, and it might give you some ideas. I've got all the business network stuff up here. I've got a few designer bits. This is all very personal down the bottom, but nothing that's too secretive. It's things like, these are all the graphics that I've not mocked up for the retreats. My 2020, it did say originally 2020 retreat, but then the pandemic happened. So it's now the 2023 retreat. Got the Milspo conference, Milspo stationery, that is happening. All kinds of things. My book that I'm writing, yes, I'm writing a book. It has taken me 3 years. This has been on here for 3 years. The TED Talk that I'm doing, I mean, it's not planting yet, but I know that I'm going to be doing a TED Talk. And then underneath this kind of like more personal things. So Couch to 5K is a constant thing that I try to every year. Can't do it, I'm determined to do it this year. Just things like decent sleep. I think anybody has a baby, I know how desperate they are for decent sleep. This is when we're off to the Maldives for our 10-year anniversary. This is another reason. This is one of the things that really keeps me ploughing forward, because yes, it would be lovely to go to the Maldives with my husband, but it would be even lovelier to pay for some of it. I think to pay my way and have my business to pay for that would be so cool and such a good initiative to keep going. And then of course, good old Richard. Richard has this is Richard in Necker Island. This is a huge dream for me. Now you might sit there going, come on Jess, you're not going to go to Necker Island with Richard Branson. I can believe that I won't, or I could believe that I will. And on that drizzly day on Thursday, Thursday in February or January, whenever that drizzly Thursday is, it's going to make it so much better to go, actually Jess, write that blog post, do that painful bit of work, because one day it'll be worth it, because you're working towards visiting Necker Island and talking to Richard Branson. And it has happened. You know why it's happened? Because other people have done it, and other people that have exactly the same amount of skills and time, and they were born in the same time as me, have gone to Necker Island to talk to Richard Branson. So why can't I? And you can believe that I will, or you can believe that I won't, but as long as it helps me keep going, that's all that really matters, isn't it? So that is my goal board. As you can see, it's a bit curly, but everything's really important to me. And yes, so grab some magazines, head to Google. You can make little mock-ups. You can. This is the Facebook group with how many members I'd like in the Milspo Facebook group that I've literally done a screenshot from the Facebook group, and I have amended the numbers so I can see how many people I'm working towards, that we're working towards as a team. Like lovely lunches. This is my first class business trip to New York that my business is going to pay for. Spa breaks. I love a spa break. So yeah, so that is it. It's not pretty, but it's something. And sometimes something is better than nothing. So let's try and hang that back up there. Oh, it stayed. And then I have my list of life goals for 2023, which you can do. That's not in this planner, but it's up to you. And then underneath, so we're back on page 16 now. I want to talk to you a little bit about business journaling, which is something I've been doing for years. I've got 2 of them now. This is my original one, and I've got a new one. It actually says journal. It's diary. We're British. It's up to you, whichever term you use. But it's now full. This one's full. Can you believe it? I've had it since, 2016. Milspo launched in 2018. My business has been running since 2012, so it took me 4 years to get into it. But yeah, 2016. And in here is just it's like a diary. It's the words that I write when I get stuck in my business, or I'm a bit lonely and I can't figure out the solution, or whether I want to plan things ahead. And like a personal diary, it's just writing about business. You might be a more visual person. You might want to do something like a bullet journal. Or you might, have a sketchbook. But for me, because I'm a creative person, words seem to work well for me to flip the way that I'm thinking. So I have a business journal, and I love it. And sometimes I can go months without writing in it. Sometimes I can need to write in it every day. And it's just a way for me. I use it to work out my problems. You can use it however you like, because there's nobody checking your work. You can hide it away if you like. Personal things in there. Tell you what, you can go in there and you can bitch about everybody and say whatever you like about anybody. It's like a diary. Nobody's going to read it. However, saying that, during these business brief sessions, I normally read out a page. It's just chaos. So I'm gonna, while I still have a voice, I'm gonna read out a little bit about in my business diary that I'm gonna read out to you, so you can kind of see the stuff that I write. I mean, it's up to you. Listen to it if you like. It's nothing too dramatic. As always, oh look. So this is, let's find a page. Okay. So this is September 2018. 2nd of September. Hello Little Book. It always starts with Hello Little Book. So a few things have happened recently. I've re-fallen back in love with Design Jessica. That's my design company. I've become one of this year's Small Business Saturday companies, and I'm so very happy. It's a massive opportunity for Design Jessica that I need to grab with both hands. I'm going to run a competition, do a few videos, and try out to get some local press coverage, maybe through the new networking groups I've discovered, because this was pre-Milspo. I've also rewritten my website copy, and I have a new style applied to WordPress. What I've realised is causing me the biggest challenge in my brain is the legal side of stuff. I'm way out of my comfort zone. I need new client contracts, terms and conditions for both my websites, a cookies policy. My brain is boggled. I need to put on my big girl pants and find someone qualified to help me. So yeah, that was back in 2018. And I'll tell you what, things have not changed an awful lot. But how amazing to be able to step back into September 2018 and remember that time. Like, it was a Small Business Saturday business. And after that, I got to go to the House of Lords. I got to meet up with all these other people. Generally, excuse me, it's such a nice memory to look back on. And I used it as a chance to plan, to work out what I needed to do, to talk to the local press, to talk to the networking groups, all kinds of things. So yeah, that was, here we go, the 18th of January 2021, so this time last year. Hello Little Book. Well, it's been a busy few weeks, but good ones. Our Champagnes trip was up was cancelled. Pandemic. Is it? So I didn't get to do my usual planning restart to the year because every year I have a little pre-planning thing before I do this challenge for you. So I get all set up. So it's really felt a little bit like Groundhog Day. Today is Blue Monday. It was Blue Monday this week, remember? It's just made up. I'm not really feeling grumpy, but it's all about coronavirus, basically, about other people trying to spread it. I can't control other people, and I can choose to ignore them, so I'm going to do my very best to ignore people spreading coronavirus. I think it was packed life, and the fact that there wasn't necessarily as much social distancing as you'd expect. Work-wise, it's rocking. The Business Boost Challenge was a huge success. I really enjoyed it too. I had somebody from the Warrior Programme as a guest speaker, and they were amazing. I've downloaded all the recordings. It's also really helped the group reach with 800 members. Gosh. So a year ago, there were 800 members in Milspo, which is just wonderful. It's all coming together. So that's it. That's the thing. It's all about celebrating your wins and then looking back 2 years later and realising that since that first Business Boost Challenge, Milspo has grown massively and we don't have to social distance anymore. That's quite nice. But just all these lovely things about looking back. So I encourage you today, if you've not done business journaling, to give it a go. Go out and buy a lovely shiny new notebook and a lovely new pen, or find one that you've inevitably got, because we've all got too many notebooks, and see if business journaling is something that could make a difference in your business and could make a difference to you in a couple of years' time when you look back on it and think, I rock, how amazing was that? So try it. Like all things in the Business Boost Challenge, it's always a bit exciting, it's always a bit different, but it's stuff that has worked for me and it's stuff that has worked for lots of other members, so I encourage you to give it a go. Worst case, you don't like it, but you wouldn't be any different to how you are now. So try it. It's January, time for new things. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully with a voice. Oh, it's the last day of the Business Boost Challenge. Tomorrow we're eating a frog and his friends. Tasty. It's all about planning and how you can plan your best days so that you every day achieve those bigger picture goals that we decided on day one, that you've now stuck on your new vision board, that you're now writing about in your journal, that you now know that you can do because you've slayed your dragons. Generally, tomorrow is a good day, all about eating frogs. So I shall see you, same place, on this lovely webpage tomorrow to talk about eating some frogs and his friends. And as usual, any comments, any questions, you need any help with anything, head over to the Facebook group. Not only am I in there, but there's loads of other brilliant Milspos that can help you out, who are experts at wonderful, wonderful things. Right, time for a lemon sip, and I'll see you tomorrow.